Hey neighbor, come on in and sit with us a spell. Well, this week's show is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do something a little, change it up a little bit. We're actually not talking about gardening this week.
I know.
We are a gardening show. Gardening. We're all about gardening, but this week we're doing something different. We are actually, as you're watching this, we're in the Netherlands at some field trials over there looking at some vegetables and stuff. We are lucky enough to be able to go over there and BGO Seeds, which is a huge seed company, has a research farm in the Netherlands, and they invited us over there for the week. So we took this opportunity to go over there and see what new things we could bring to you. So we figured, you know what, it'd be a good week to do this show. I've actually been wanting to do this show for a long time. I've had some, you didn't want to do it quite as much as I did.
No.
But anyway, I've been wanting to. We're going to go over some of the comments that we get in our show, in our videos, and show you, because some of them are just absolutely hilarious. But as you know, people can be ruthless on comments sometimes. And we thought it'd be a great show to throw some of these comments out there and let you know what kind of feedback we get sometimes, what we actually have to deal with.
Now, I read every single YouTube comment. Marketing does more of the Facebook, and then we forward them to Greg for the questions that he needs to answer.
If it needs to come to me, it comes to me.
Yeah.
Which
So
very
you
few
don't see everything. But the comments to me, if you're down in the dumps, they are 99% of them are very inspirational.
Yeah.
Very appreciative, and they really mean a lot. So if Greg ever kind of gets the blues, I'll say, come here, come read these comments, and it perks you up a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. It makes it worthwhile.
So the
what
comments just mean so much to us. But every once in a while, we get one, and we just have to laugh.
you do. Yep.
We just have to laugh. And I come from a medical background. As a nurse, dealing with patients and physicians, you kind of had to have thick skin. But when I left that career and come here, I thought I had thick skin. And to begin with, it kind of bothered me. Now it doesn't. I know a lot of times the way the comments come across, and I may or may not interpret them, is not exactly how they were intended.
Although
Although
there are a few people out there that love to sit behind a keyboard and,
well, it's safe. It's safe.
and say some things that they need not say.
Yeah.
Now,
So I hope you find we're not knocking anybody by no means.
No.
We just want to have a little humor here.
So, you know, my mom always taught me if you couldn't say something good, don't say it at all. And I pretty much try to deal with that. Now, I have been guilty if somebody really made me mad. If I bought a car, we bought a car one time, that was a bad experience. And I did go to their Facebook page and make a comment about what a bad experience we had. I have on occasion, on very few occasions, went back and made a negative comment. But most time, if I have something negative to say, I just don't say it. Now, this is me. Everybody's different. But if I go to a restaurant and it's not good, I normally don't complain.
You don't send your food back.
I don't send my food back, or I don't complain a lot. I just don't go back. So I'm not one of them kind of people that complains a lot. So some of these people I hear love to cause drama and complain. So let's dig into a little of them. And man, and we get some of these people calling on customer service sometimes. Like you said, 99% of them are good. But we'll get some people calling sometimes that's just irate and terrible. Most of the time, if I can ever get them on the phone and we talk to them, kind of get everything's calmed down a little bit. And even these people that make these comments sometimes, we'll try to get them on the phone and find out what their problem is or what their issue is and try to find out a solution. And when you get somebody on the phone and you start talking to them one-on-one, most of the time their demeanor eases down when they realize what you're trying to do is actually help them. Because at the end of the day, that's all we're trying to do is help somebody. Is, you know, whether it be some kind of question or they may be adamant that they're right about something that they're not.
Right.
Just a couple of years ago, I came in one day and two people here that's way up in the company cornered me up and told me I could not answer the comments the way I did, because a comment came into me the night before and I got a hold to it and I answered it in a certain way, and it really upset some people here. And I told them, they said, you can't tell the customer that they're wrong. And then I informed these two people that you can tell a customer that they're wrong. The customer is not always right. And this is what I told them. How are they ever going to know if they're wrong if nobody ever tells them? Right. But when somebody tells me something and I know they're wrong, you're not going to convince me different. Now, if I don't know, hey, I could care less.
And we welcome constructive criticism.
Oh, yeah. But when you tell me Blossom Enrot is because of the seed they bought from us, I'm going to have to straighten you out on that right there. So the customer is not always right. The customer does always deserve the truth. That's my thing. So let's dig in.
All right. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's start anywhere you want to.
Okay. We get this a lot. This is just an example. Good show. I don't comment much. This one may help you. Eating is okay, but smacking of the lips tend to aggravate people.
So that's from Paul. Let's mention who they're from.
Yeah.
That's Paul Shipley, 8854. Paul, I'm sorry about my smacking. I've tried to do better about my smacking. We do love to taste things on the show.
We love to eat what we have growing in our garden.
And the smacking thing, I'm working on that. So
yeah. Someone from our live of the night, we were eating boiled peanuts, and they said they had earbuds in, and it was quite torturous for them
to watch
to hear us crunching on peanuts. Yeah. So
everybody's got their hang-ups, folks.
Another one, hate to tell you, but your munching is loud. My pet peeve is somebody smacking their food. We get a lot of that.
Yeah, but I don't catch myself smacking. I keep my mouth closed. I guess what I'm trying to talk, I shouldn't talk and eat at the same time. I guess that's the issue. There again, we'll try to make improvements on that.
Yeah, but now we get just as, when we don't have something for you to taste, we get just as many comments complaining that Greg didn't eat today.
And I do love to eat.
Yeah, he does love
It's
to
evident if you look at me.
Dreaming right now, 1174. You gonna get to the point or not? Hope you never even think about disparaging women for talking too much. You do get a little winded.
I get a little long-winded sometimes. I get on my soapbox sometimes.
If you ever see him jar, that's because I'm kicking him under the table to move on.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like these information people need to get out there. And the only way I can get to them is give it to them. But yeah, sometimes they need a Cliff Notes version of it instead of the full version.
I'm just going to say this one, and we won't really have to comment on it. This was on one of your wheel hose. This is BS. This did not help me get any hose at all. And this was on our recipes, and I usually try to provide the recipes. It may not be on the show, but I tried to do a follow-up 3 years ago. I don't know who this, Nathan? No. Either we get the recipe or we all unsubscribe. Yeah.
Can't get the recipe, they're gone.
Another one I got a couple weeks ago is when I'm doing my videos, I try to show all the steps because for a beginner, it's important to do that. Suzanne says, do we have to watch you wash your tomatoes?
Again?
Well, no, just wash your tomatoes. Now, I might have been a little, this might have got under my skin a little bit.
What did you tell Suzanne?
I told her she could fast forward or she could hit that unsubscribe button.
Either one?
Either one. And she wouldn't have to watch me wash my tomatoes again.
So yeah, I do. So we had one, this is a long one here, and I'm going to give the Cliff Notes version of this for everybody. But this is from, I farm here in Augusta, Georgia area, and it tells what their favorite varieties are. They've never heard of Godzilla or Green Magic Broccoli. They said the taste, they said they never heard of Godzilla, but Green Magic Broccoli is one that we talk about a lot. Has no taste at all. And then they talk about all of our varieties. She talks about, I say it's a she, I think it is a she. Talks about all of our varieties and how they're not good varieties. And she mentions a couple of the varieties that I know other seed companies sells, and she tells us what good varieties they are. So she tells us in particular that all of our lettuces are very bad lettuces, and none of them cheap and never taste well. So I took that with a grain of salt there. And actually she says, step up your game. Salad bowl is crap. Black seeded Simpson is beyond crap. Coastal Star is crap. So anyway, you know, that's good constructive criticism, but may have went just a little too far there on that one.
Yeah, that was maybe 1 or 2 sentences a little much.
Another one from 5-star David. He says, when you start doing no-till with cover crops to protect the soil biology. Oh, this is a good one here. I'm going to repeat it again. When you start doing no-till with cover crops to protect soil biology, I will take you seriously. 5-star David said that, and I guess he's not taking us seriously because we don't do much no-till with cover crops.
This one's on, I think when we talked about you getting stung by bees. It says, bees don't bite, they don't gnaw on you, they sting. It really diminishes your credibility to speak on the topic. You would be better not to share a story than make such simple, ignorant mistakes. Can you edit this episode? Delete would be good.
Yeah, I actually seen that one, and she evidently, I'm assuming it's a she.
I don't know.
I don't know why I think most of these are she's.
Why?
I don't know. It could be he's as well. But anyhow, that person there evidently has never been gnawed on by the bees. I was gnawed on that day. So I would invite them to come down here and get gnawed on like I did.
We got some bees.
They might not be as much concerned about the wording of my comments there. Yep.
There's one where you was insulting your okra.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we talked about David, the star David. Jack Dunford said David didn't have a star, Satan did. Why insult your okra? We're just gonna move on.
We're just gonna move on from that one. All right, I got one from Harper Car here. He said sweet corn is a crock. Why can't they develop a hybrid with better roots that the wind won't blow over? You never see field corn blow down. Some truth to that. We never see field corn grown down as much as we do sweet corn. But I will pass that on to the seed breeders out there to develop better root systems where they won't blow over. And we get people there that's upset about our tomato sandwich videos. This right here is from, now this is from a guy because it's Brian here. Brian says, yes, a vine-ripe tomato sandwich with the peel left on. I peel my tomatoes. Hey, peel and crust are they to keep the goodness inside the sandwich. What next? You gonna cut the bread crust off? You're not ready for baby food yet. Not quite anyway. So he's insinuating I can't chew because I don't have any teeth. Okay. Yep. Jerry Maxwell says, this is not a tip, it's a sales pitch. I got the catalog, thank you.
We don't have a catalog.
We don't have a catalog.
Yeah. What about Brian says, get with the program, Trump.
Yep. And we had George Johnson that says, were you drunk filming this?
I think that was actually, you had a little ulcer on your tongue.
And I couldn't talk plain?
And you couldn't talk plain. But we did disclose that.
We did disclose that I was having some mouth issues there, but evidently George thought I'd been drinking. All right, so let me see if I can find one here.
Here's one from U1J. If you landed on this video searching how to thin beets, you can jump to 9:24 and ignore the rest of the video, which covers something entirely unrelated. That would be, if you can't say what your mom said, if you can't say something nice, you just don't need to say anything.
Yep. All right, we got Robert here left one. If I go to a salad bar, I like bean and alfalfa sprouts as much as the next guy, but I'll never grow them. I'm probably in a different tax bracket than the rest of y'all. Robert, you don't know what tax bracket we're in, but it seems like such a waste. Seeds are expensive, and I need to tell you, I need to get all I can per seed plant. You can get more seeds if you harvest a plant before it makes a seed. Very counterintuitive for someone in my position to try to feed a large family on a budget. Y'all are turning into yuppies. We're turning into yuppies. I'm a long ways from a yuppie. Now, you're talking about microgreens. Microgreens are a yuppie game. You'll be selling Hoss yoga mats and Hoss Pilates balls before you know it. Actually, we're working on some Hoss yoga. No, we're not. All right, so I got one in here. This is going to take, because I got to give a little background to this right here. We had a fellow named Mike. This was actually an email.
Yeah. Well, it started on Facebook.
It started on Facebook.
Or did it start on the email and he went to Facebook?
No, it started on Facebook, I think, and it did move in. So Mike Hayne, H-A-N-N-E, when we have somebody that we can't figure out what the problem is, a lot of times it'll end up to me, and I try to figure out what the problem is. If it can be handled before it gets to me, if it's simple, it gets handled. But if it gets to me, it's more of a complex problem. We try to take care of it. So my contact said he got some bad seeds. So I looked up, and Mike did get some bad seeds. What happens every now and then when you sell as many seeds as we do, you will have something every now and then that might take a nosedive on germ. Well, it just so happens when Mike contacted me, we realized a couple of days before, because we got some germination results back, that we did have a problem with Tapazio bean. So when I seen this, I went and looked Mike's order up, and he had ordered Tapazio bean. I said, Mike's got some of this bad seed. We contacted our breeder. Breeder did the same thing we did. They went back, researched, and come back and said, yes, you got a lot of bad seed there. A lot, L-O-T. So they was going to send us replacement seeds. And in the meantime, what our plans was we was going to send everybody out a note and replacement seeds of a newer lot or that was good seeds. We have since done that, but this was about a month ago. So Mike contacted and said he got bad seeds, and he went on complaining about the bad seeds, and it was a legitimate complaint. He did get bad seeds. So I reached out to Mike. I said, Mike, you're absolutely correct. You did get some bad seeds, and we are aware of that, and we're working on fixing the problem, and we're going to send out replacement seeds. If you don't want replacement seeds, we'll give you a refund. Well, that was not good enough for old Mike. Mike then goes into back and forth, went back and forth, and he got to telling me that we knew we sent him bad seeds. I said, Mike, we didn't.
You intentionally sent him.
I intentionally sent him bad seeds. I said, Mike, we did. But we found out that you did get them, so we were willing to make it right. We went back and forth, and it got rough, okay? And sometimes I take more time on these things that people really get underneath. Now, Mike got underneath my skin just a little bit. But there was several emails before, but this is one of his last emails. Be cautious buying Hoss seeds. Some don't germinate at all. This was actually, let me back up. This was a post that he started posting. So his last comment to me was that I was a liar and that I was this, that, and other. And he had just retired, and he was going to spend an hour of his day for the rest of his life trying to tell everybody how horrible we were. Now, Mike just retired, and this is going to be part of Mike's retirement plan, spending an hour of his day for the rest of his life. And this is what he started posting on some place around. These people obviously sent it to us, and they deleted it. But he says this right here. Be cautious buying Hoss seeds. Some don't germinate at all. I experienced just that. Contacted them, and they said they were aware of it.
Yeah.
I told Mike I was aware of it. When asked why they did not inform the customers of such, the person supposedly in customer service, it was actually me, got angry and wanted to meet in person to fight. Even worse, it turns out it was Greg, the owner and CEO. Unbelievable. Avoid this company at all costs. Now, some of what Mike said was right. He got bad seeds. But we didn't know but a couple of days before this what had happened, so we didn't have time. We was in the process of responding to all this right here. Mike had called me some pretty ugly names. Now, Mike didn't want to get on the phone because I invited us to have a phone conversation and try to work some of this out. And most of the time, if you get somebody on the phone, you can kind of work out what the issues are.
Diffuse the situation.
Mike didn't want to do that. He wanted to go back and forth on the keyboard and tell me.
And he not only posted stuff in our Facebook groups,
everywhere else for a few days.
Everywhere.
And he told me what a horrible person. He told me what I was. And I simply said, Mike, if you want to have a conversation, you're more than welcome. Come down here and let's have a face-to-face conversation. I did not invite Mike to fight. But I did invite him to come down here and have a face-to-face conversation. And to be honest with you, I would have enjoyed the conversation if he'd came down here and been able to tell me that.
So, Mike, you're still welcome to come down.
You're still welcome to come down here. I'll send you my address. call to make sure I'm gonna be here before you come down. I'd be glad to meet with you and let's have a one-on-one conversation and address your issues. But Mike has decided to spend an hour of his day the rest of his life to tell people how horrible we are. Anyhow, I gave Mike a refund, and I told him it was probably best us part ways.
Yeah, and we all chuckle about it now.
And we all chuckle about it and move on.
Yeah.
But anyway, folks, we do get the majority of good comments out there, and it does sometimes, in the heat and grind of things out here, make us feel really good to know that we're helping you guys and what impact we have on your lives, being able to help you learn how to garden or to grow your own food.
Here's one on the same beans, and let's end with a good one.
Okay.
All right. This is from Angie White. And I got another one just like this yesterday. Just wanted to say thank you for the replacement seed for the Topazio beans. It takes great integrity to voluntarily replace an item I did not know yet was a problem. I'm most grateful and have yet another reason you are my go-to seed company.
Thank you, Angie.
And that's the majority, 99% of what we get.
And we don't do what we do for money. We do to try to help you guys. If we was doing it for money, we would be doing something else. But we enjoy trying to help people. And every time I get in a conversation with somebody, if there's a problem there, we try to figure out what the problem is. Now, sometimes you have to kind of talk a lot to figure out what the problem is. And some people want to blame some things that's actually not a problem. I kind of related to this earlier. I had a lady the other day send an email in with pictures. And she had circled the tomatoes with a magic marker where she had blossom end rot. And she went on a rage telling me how terrible our seeds was because they gave her tomatoes blossom end rot. And in the email, I went back and tried to tell her, I was firm about it. I told her the seeds were not an issue, and they're not. Regardless where she buys her seed from, that's not going to solve her problem. She needs to address the issue to solve her problem instead of blaming everybody. Sometimes people want to get off on the tangent of blaming something other when they actually need to focus on fixing the problem. That's what we try to do. Are there times that yes, you may get some bad seeds from us or anybody else? It just happens. But when you do, if you'll contact us, I promise you we'll try to make it right. Or figure out what your problem is.
And keep the comments coming. I do enjoy them, even the bad ones. It's nice to get a chuckle.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for all you do. It's a joy for us to do what we do for you, and we do enjoy the comments. And if we ever get to hang out with you, meet and greet, we enjoy those as well. So in the meantime, still get out there and get dirty.